Hey everybody, this is Midas King. I'm creating this video because my recording from our session number 67, the file got corrupted and I was unable to recover it, so the gameplay was lost. But I'm recording this to kind of fill everyone in on what happened in that story, and also just for history and posterity's sake, if you want to put it that way. Um, so we picked up in Ospium as the party had had done an emergency evacuation in Vortum. Elwyn managed to save a lot of the dwarves with a wish spell, and Princess Akelia, helped him do that, but the arcane backlash left Elwyn permanently unable to cast Wish again, and Akelia was left in much worse shape. They found a place for the dwarves in the city of Heldrin, and Kildrak had a dream encounter with Modrin and went off on his own adventure. So the party was trying to figure out what to do next. They decided to head north towards the magical city slash country of Mistrala. And this is it on the map right here. From Ospium, they decided to head up to Mistrala. To do so, they'd have to cross through the country of Taswan. And Deimos was remembered that a while ago, Tempest, his god, had given him an assignment to kill an evil feudal lord who was oppressing his people in Taswan. So they struck out. Akelia said goodbye. She gave Feldorn an item, which was a functional blood drop necklace that they had taken off Celise, the blood demon that they killed in Cragland. And this is what it did. Feldorn was very happy to have received it. It's basically a magic item with attunement a person can choose to use to expend their hit dice and use those as damage dice on any given attack. Pretty cool item, but it costs you resources. Anyway, Akelia gave them this cryptic message since they were heading to Mistrala. She had been trained in Mistrala for at least a couple years while she was younger. She said, ask for Dr. Kotinin, beware High Master Erin, and give that scoundrel Telephos a kick in the pants for me. Of course, this is Akelia. As they traveled out, they found out that they learned that Taswan is made up of a bunch of smaller states called kingholds. There's no central government. Basically, there are 14 total kingholds within Talos, and they all have their own lords and their own cultures, and they're basically their own little countries. But they will band together during certain situations for larger diplomatic items. As they were traveling, they came across a curious person caught up in a tree, fleeing from an Etin. As they watched, he was able to slip away from the Etin and run toward them. It was this person right here. His full name is Roberton Tyrone Willingham Frederick Chungley Hoffman Martolius IV. People call him Robin for short. And Robin is obviously built off the archetype of Robin Hood. He steals from the rich and to give to the poor. He's quite the scoundrel. He likes to sneak into places and take valuable things. So they put him in chains. Deimos shackled him up because he wasn't quite sure who Robin was. And in order to be released, Robin agreed to escort them through Taswan to Mistrala. They passed through one kinghold called Talos, which is one of the larger, more powerful kingholds. They didn't spend much time there in central Taswan, kind of in this area here. They didn't spend much time there because there was nothing of interest for them to make them stop. Robin did spend an evening burgling some of the nobles and the king there. They came across an encounter with an ogre who had been cast out of his clan because he was too smart for them. He had a 7 intelligence. They went back and through show of force, because ogres do not necessarily negotiate, in which Elwyn summoned a meteor shower or a meteor swarm, killing a few of the ogres to make examples of them. He was able to cow them into obedience, basically, and they accepted the outcast back. One of the things that did come up was that they found that there was an ancient artifact that the ogres feared deep within the mountain that they kind of abided in. So the party didn't sneak, but they traveled into the deep cave that the ogres had been tunneling, and they came across this. A gruesome withered hand that just it was of extreme power, obviously, and it just showered them in necrotic damage as they came close to it, and they were able to pick it up without touching it and put it in the bag of holding and later identify it, and they found the hand of Vecna. None of them has equipped it yet or attuned to it, but it's currently sitting in their inventory to be used at a later time, I am sure. Finally, they made their way to the kinghold of Nanjen. Nanjen is populated by a multitude of different human races, but the predominant race is Tian, which is basically this world's equivalent of Asian. They bribed their way in through the guards, and they found that the town was full of was highly policed, and they found instances of law enforcement or guards going through and harassing civilians, and they heard some stories from people about how terrible the guards were. And Deimos took it upon himself, realizing that this was a town that Tempest had told him of, to take action. They got in a couple skirmishes and eventually started pushing their way towards the palace. During one encounter, Elwyn actually cast a pretty big dragon's breath across a bunch of guards and actually just incinerated them all. They charged into the palace, bursting in, and had a big fight there, in which the room was filled with guards and TN sorcerers who covered the room in magical smoke, or in smoke, so that the elite forces of the ruler, whose name is Lord Pan, this guy, they found this guy there, who was quite angry with them. He's quite noble and quite haughty, and he was very angry with their intrusion. They basically just forced their way into his palace. So his special forces came through, which was 4 different ninjas. And I don't have the image here. But through the course of the fight, a rogue fireball killed Lord Pan, the Jade Emperor, or not the Jade Emperor, Lord Pan, and Euphemia was questioning the reason why they're doing all of this, and went and tried to revive the Lord. And as she was doing so, the ninja commander went up and demanded that they bring the Lord back to life. Euphemia's spell failed. Deimos went and cast his 9th level spell, True Resurrection, and very, very barely succeeded in bringing Lord Pan back to life. At which point, the ninja commander revealed herself to be Kianmei, the pirate lord, female pirate lord from Borthal, that they had encountered and lost track of in the Great War of the Salt Sea many, many months ago. So that's where we left off. They were in the palace of Lord Pan, having slain many of his soldiers, bloodied, and having seen that Kianmei is there along with her ninjas, and one of which was Xiao, who had accompanied them for a while. And that's where we left off last session. So I'll end this video here, and the next session will pick up right there. Thank you guys for watching.